Okay, so we are sitting here at the Dayton International Airport.
Yes, we are.
With the two remaining members of DOS Effect, since one is already gone, but that's okay. Because I think the most vocal ones are still sitting here. No, seriously, the show last night was ridiculous. The show was sick, and we had the best time. I'm actually glad the dude is talking over us. That's okay, because we just told you we're at the airport. That's fine. It's kind of trite, but it'll be all right. We told you the show was sick last night, and no, you can't. That's for her. That's not. Don't worry about that. I got my girl Dre here with me. Then she's filming because she's excited. Okay. But I'm glad that we actually got to see the show first, because that just gave me a whole different bunch of questions to ask. Number one, the energy that you all put out while on stage, bananas. I mean, BANANAS.
Talk about it, baby. Talk about it. Talk about it.
I'm talking about jumping around the entire time. There was not a moment of downtime, not between them, not between the DJ, not between anybody. You know, sometimes there can be lulls and lags in the show. The live show was even better than I had heard it was going to be.
Talk about it, baby.
And the circumstances that you guys were under yesterday were crazy. So, I mean, given those circumstances, the fact that the show was fireworks last night. So, what is it that explosive? Thank you. What is it that gives you the energy? I mean, what gets you the most hyped up about being on stage?
Just the energy that the fans bring to the show. You know what I mean? They don't want to come and just see somebody get on stage and just walk back and forth and sing a song. Nah, they coming to see a performance. So we get up there and we get hyped. You know what I mean? We want to make it a party. We don't like just doing shows. We like to be interactive with the crowd and make it just a big party. You know what I mean? So everybody goes home. You know, it's hard to come across whatever type of money they spend to get in the club.
Right.
First, let's start there. You feel me? So if they go home feeling that they spent, like, you know, they spent their money's worth and they really got something for it back in return for it, dope. You know what I mean?
Right. Now you. This one, okay, DJ Rendezvous. I have to I forgot totally to say. I'm sorry. We're speaking to Scoob and DJ Rendezvous.
Boogie Bang DOS Effects fame. Y'all know what it is. How many pairs of Nikes you got?
You know what? That's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of them, and we'll discuss that when we're off of this microphone. Okay. He's doing a lot right now. Okay. You've been tripping on me about my everything I had on has been wrong since yesterday. So okay. It's not wrong. I know. All right. Now, DJ Rendezvous. Who knew? You prepped me for everything else but what you were going to do on the stage last night. Talk to me. How do we learn how to do 8,000,005 different ways to cut and scratch? It was Rock the Bells, y'all. If y'all know anything about cutting and scratching and mixing and everything else, Rock the Bells, you don't come whack on Rock the Bells. And please believe me, this man was doing it with no vision. He was doing it with like his elbows. He was doing it while taking his shirt off. Ladies, he tore his shirt off. I'm talking about a whole lot of stuff going on stage. Talk to me. How did we figure out how to do all of these things?
Oh man, that right there, it's a lot of years, man. You gotta be dedicated. That's all comes with practice. You know, you can't just start DJing last weekend and start doing that kind of stuff. That's advanced black belt. You got to go through the belts, you know what I'm saying? Like all you overnight Serato DJs that just go and download 2,000 songs last week, that's not a real DJ, you know? Like real DJs, you got to come up and pay dues, you know? Back when I was coming up, you had to go buy 2 records. You had to go buy them. Nowadays, you could just download the song and switch it to both sides of Serato. You know, it was something that you had to really be dedicated to, so you had to put a lot of time in. And practice, and you know, just love what you're doing as well, but practice.
Okay, so y'all know your history. If you are paying attention to anything I do, I know you know your history, so you already know who we're dealing with and what we're talking about. But for those who may be new to this, the first question that I should have started off with, but I really want to get in that stage stuff first. The first question I should start off with is, how did you get inspired to do this whole thing, other than just being from where you're from? Everybody knows that story. Anybody who I've interviewed that says, okay, I'm from New York, well, okay, we know the birthplace, we get that, but deeper than that, what made you decide this was the move for you? You want to get involved in this whole crazy industry?
Probably that first check that the label signed and cut.
A lot happening.
That was a pretty big check. But now I'm just saying, like, you know what it is, man. I came up on, like, you know, the pioneers, like Sugar Hill Gang and Grandmaster Flash and all them dudes. So, you know, as it progressed, Run DMC and all that, EPMD, as it progressed on and on, like, it was something that I just, you know, was a part of the culture, right? So, okay, cool. Like, me and my dudes growing up, we went to the extent of, you know, when songs came on the radio, when we would get the actual record, we would write down the lyrics to learn them.
Yep.
You dig what I'm saying? So then that progressed into me trying to write my own lyrics. And then, you know, just gave it a shot, and it turned into this.
The cadence, though. The cadence.
You can't be using big words like that.
Yes, I can. The cadence is still redonkulously. Look, all right, as a member of that crowd last night, it was hard to figure out, am I dancing to this cadence that they're spitting, or am I dancing to the beat of the music? It was very hard to determine which one, because both of them were so powerful. Where in the world, because you guys were one of the first ones to be like, just all over the place, like quick. No, that wasn't Bone that started that. That they got that from someplace else. So how did y'all sit down? I know from writing myself, like I can't even know. I don't know how to begin. How did you write it that fast? No one else was doing it. So how did you guys come up with that?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like what Ron said. Like, you know, as far as DJing, you can't just be an overnight DJ. You know what I mean? You got to do you on stage and all that when it comes to DJing. And with that right there, was just, we came up in that era where you had so many different hip-hop artists, but everybody had their own different niche, you know what I mean? And we just wanted to be different. I don't know, and that's just what came about. It could have been something else that we did, but it would have just been different from whatever was going on at that time. But it just so happened to be that. I can't pinpoint exactly how we came up with all that. It probably was a little weed and a little old English and all that, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, it was just the basis of it was just trying to be different and be dope. You know what I mean?
Success. Okay.
Talk about it.
Okay, and then with you, I don't know how to. It's like if you haven't seen a live show, you haven't experienced DOS effects. If you haven't seen a live show, you haven't experienced what's going on that stage, because it's more than just the music that you've gotten accustomed to. It's deeper than that. You last night were flowing in and out, and not only that, took music that belongs, the iconic songs that belong to another artist, and you forgot about the other artist. How did you go about picking these songs to use for the show?
It was just finding different things in them to, you know, try to entertain the crowd. Like, that's my job as a DJ, is to entertain the crowd and just find different things that, you know, other DJs might not be doing. Like, well, I'm gonna come totally left with something that you never saw before. Like, yo, you see what he did?
Exactly.
Like, that's what, you know, like you said, trying to separate from the crowd, something to differentiate from everybody out there.
Again, success. Okay.
Talk about it.
All right. So we're in it. We're listening. We're like, oh, that's what's up. You forgot that was Slick Rick. You forgot that. I mean, whoever he was playing, we were like, yeah, Lottie Dottie, but it stopped being Lottie Dottie and started being DOS Effects. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've seen 1,000,005 hip hop shows, and I've never seen that. Maybe I've seen somebody try, but nobody pull it off. So, props. You know, kudos. Okay.
I appreciate that, love. I appreciate that.
Now. The two things that I'm sure people have already asked before. I don't even care. I never heard the answer, so I'm going to ask. All right. Number one, what does bum stickity bum mean?
It means that we're about to tear the club down. When that comes in, when that drops right there, it's going to be a problem.
But what did it mean when you all wrote that down?
It meant that we was just, like I said, trying to be different, but we got to be different and dope and keep our swag up and all that at the same time.
Okay, yeah, well, no, definitely. And you knew the definitions of some of the stuff. That was like always a bit of contention amongst people because it was like, I think it means that. Nah, man, I don't mean that. But one of the things I always thought was cool were people who could actually take gibberish and make it into something. Now, that being said, who in the heck, how did y'all manage to take every iconic figure of my entire childhood and throw it into 3 minutes worth of a song? I'm talking about you quoted every cartoon, every commercial, every game, exactly everything I have ever done in the 18 years of youth growing up into one song. How in the world did that come about? And then follow up after that is, did you have any idea that when you were writing that could ever end up being the cult classic that it is still to this day? You could be listening to anything. If you follow it up with Day One Effect, it's going on. Everybody, you hear the bass line drop and everybody freaks out. It happened last night. So how did you guys go about writing that? And then the follow up, did you have any idea what you had?
I mean, at the end of the day, it was just real easy. Like, you know, you remember them Saturday mornings back when we was kids, eating cereal, reading the back of the cereal box and all that, watching cartoons, you know what I mean? Exactly. And then when the cartoons go off, you go outside and bug out and play and all of that. You know what I mean? Which is a little different from right now. But, I mean, that's just, we just took it from that point of view, like us having a good time. But mind you, a lot of the cartoons, like the Bugs Bunny and all that, those were violent cartoons, B. They were violent, you know what I mean? So that's how we kind of, it was crazy. It was crazy. So we incorporated a lot of that into our, our rhymes and all of that. And, did I know it was going to work? No. Did I get booed a lot of times off stage? Like, yes, coming up. You know what I mean? Doing that? Yeah, of course. Opening up for EPMD and people didn't know about us. Boo, get out of here. You know what I mean? But we stuck to our guns and all that and held it down, and we here now.
I still pick up stuff. Still, to this day. I have heard that song 8,000,005 times, and I still learn from it. I still hear stuff that I didn't hear the last time or any of the other times. Like, no more sausages, Mom, please.